Welcome to Session Sunday. Hi guys, it's Jack Edwards and today's session is going to be focusing on attack and transitions. But before we get into today's video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe, and if you missed last week's video, click on the link above. Okay, so moving into the first part of this week's session, we're just going to look at how many players we've got this week and the setup and the equipment that we need. So we've got 13 players this week, including our goalkeeper. So if you don't have a goalkeeper, as I've said in the past quite a few times, you can put an assistant coach in goal or ask a parent to go in goal. But we want to use a goalkeeper because it makes it so much more realistic. And in other parts of the session, we're going to be starting play with the goalkeeper. So that's good for them to work on their footwork as well. So in terms of the setup for this part of the session, we've got 50 yards of depth. We've got a 20-yard box here, as if it's the 18-yard box, just with an extra 2 yards. And then we've got another 20 yards of depth for the attacking team to travel into with the ball. And we've got another 10 yards of depth, which is for the possession-based area here. And we've got 30 yards of width, which is split into 20 yards in the middle box here for the 3v3 in the middle, and then 5 yards either side for the floaters on the outside. So the floaters have got a 5x10 box to work in, which is plenty of room for them. So in terms of the equipment for this part of the session, all we need is balls, bibs and cones. Again, once we spoke about in the past about getting the flat markers, which will be perfect to split out different areas of the pitch. Okay, so what we're looking at here is we're looking to counter-attack as soon as we've won the ball. So we've got a 3v3 scenario in the middle. What's going to happen is the coach is going to play into one of the teams in the middle. Doesn't matter which team to start with. So the coach plays into the Blues. The Blues try and manoeuvre the ball around using the floater so to make it a 5v3 situation. When the Reds win the ball back, they want to get this ball out of the box as quickly as possible to go and counter-attack in a 3v2 scenario. The two centre-backs won't engage until the ball has come out of the box. So the Reds could play one ball straight through to come out, or if the options are closed to try and play forward with one of their teammates, they can use the floater on the outside to bounce a pass, and then the floater can play a through ball for the Reds to then go and attack. So then once we've gone out the box, we're looking to attack the back two. Can we create runs to find space for another player to come into? And then can we be decisive in the final third and look to score? What will happen then with the rotation is the Reds will move back into the box. The two defenders will swap over. And then the coach will then play in to the Reds, who will start with possession. So it then now means that the Blues are going to be transitioning to go and counter-attack, so they're taking turns each time. If you want to swap the players over, that's fine. You could maybe have one of the floaters on the outside swapping with a Blue player every few repetitions, and one of the players swapping with the Reds, and same with the defenders as well. You might have some central midfielders in the middle here, and you want them to practice their defending when teams are on the break, so you can do that, and it could be the defenders stepping up the pitch in certain areas. It's good to get that repetition in front of goal in case they're up for corners and things like that. So in order to give the players a little bit of rest as well, it might be good to get the floaters involved. We will now move into our first animation before moving on to the next part of this week's session. Okay, so moving into part two of this week's session, we're now moving into a transition game but winning the ball in wider areas. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now, we're going to be splitting our group into two teams and one team with a goalkeeper. So we've got two teams of 6 in our main area here, and we've got our goalkeeper who is on the blue team. So the play will start with the goalkeeper each time. But before we get into it, let's have a look at the setup. So we've got 40 yards of depth throughout, 20 yards and 20 yards. So a 20-yard box for the goalkeeper here and a 20 yards for the rest of the players in here. And then we've got 30 yards of total width. We've got 12 yards for each flank and 6 yards in the middle. So the emphasis on letting them play wide to then go and win the ball. The aim for the Blues is to, when they get the ball, they're trying to work it into wide areas to receive or dribble past the line in the wide areas. We don't want them attacking centrally. We're going to try and win the ball out wide here to then attack in the space in between the fullback and the centre-back. So then the aim for the Reds is, when the ball goes out wide, we can create a 3v2 scenario in here. The only player that isn't locked into their zone at the start is the Red central midfielder to go and support the two players out wide. So then they're trying to block passes off into the middle, using the striker as well to win the ball in here, and then can we counter-attack quickly, get bodies in the box, and look to score. Okay. So as soon as that goalkeeper has played out to the fullback, we want that pressure on early. We want the support from the fullback, support from midfielder, stopping the attacking midfielder in here getting the ball. The centre forward blocking passes into the centre back. These players are locked into their zone. Okay, so we want them staying in here for now until we progress the session. And obviously we want to reduce their space. So right now this player hasn't really got an option. He might go into the centre back and then we can bring our centre midfielder back in here. This is when these players will come into play. When this player's got the ball, can they stop passes going into the fullback or the winger in here? So eventually we can win the ball. Upon winning the ball, we want to be counter-attacking quickly. Okay, we don't want to be holding the ball for too long. Secure the ball, then look to attack. Okay, so can we get that first pass secured? Can we get that first touch secured to take us whatever way we want to go to? And then can we pass to get forward, draw players in, get some support from midfield and out wide areas, and then look to score. Okay, so we're looking to punish the opposition as soon as we win the ball. We will now move into our next animation before moving on to the progression for this part of the session. Okay, so now moving into the progression for this part of the session, we've now removed all the zones in the middle. So players are free to move wherever they want. So the defenders and the attackers. The attacker's goal is still to try and get the ball and receive through the zones to score a goal, and the defenders were still trying to win the ball back. Now we can get support from the other side of the pitch, so now we can try and pen the opposition into certain areas. And when they do come in the centre of the pitch, we've got bodies to support it, so we're stopping them switching the play. So the play will start again from the goalkeeper, looking to play out to either the centre-backs or the full-back. Once that ball gets there, can we get across as a team to stop any passes coming through? When they do manoeuvre the ball sideways, that's okay for us. We can look to just block the passing lanes through the middle of the pitch and out wide as well. That's where we've got to stop it. Okay, so we can keep them on the back. We can keep them playing with the back three here happily. Okay, we can just wait for a bad touch or a mistake or a longer pass for us when they try and switch the play from one full back to the other. We can wait for that moment, and we can when they've got the back to goal as well. So if they do play into the attacking midfield, we want to be locked on instantly. Okay, with our support from behind as well, force him into areas. So when that player receives the ball back to goal, can we also round? So he's got no options to try and play, and that's when we can win the ball. And this is when we counter-attack. We've secured the ball now. Okay, where's my options going to be? My centre forward, can they peel the defender away with a run, taking them further wide to again get a late runner from midfield to set, to go in and finish. Okay, so now we're just removing the zone so the players got to think a little bit more of the space around them, where players are going to be running off the ball. Okay, will that ball be able to get there? So just being a bit more aware of the surroundings and the space around them as well, and where's that ball going to be? Okay, so when that ball's travelling, now can we go and press the ball as a team as well? We will now move into our next animation before looking at this week's four-corner model. Okay, so moving into this week's four-corner model, starting off with technical and tactical, securing the ball is massive. Okay, so upon transition, it's important that we secure the ball and stop the opposition winning it back. That can be with our first touch, opening out and broadening our options on the ball, or it can be a nice pass, just a quick 5-yard pass to then for the next player to then open out and play. Okay, so the last thing we want to do when we win the ball back is give it away again, okay, because then we've got to transition again into defence, okay, to then win the ball back again. We've worked hard to win it, so can we now secure the ball and then look to go and attack forwards? Improvisation and creativity. So when we're getting that ball in the final third, it's important to let the players be creative in there. We can't be telling them exactly what to do in that final third. That's where the players can express themselves to score the goals, okay, so it's got to be on the spot. When they're getting the ball, can they cut inside and finish, or can they chop the defender? Can they shoot them one way and then go down the line and maybe square a ball back for the centre forward to finish? So letting the players have that freedom in that final third to go and score the goals themselves. Movement to receive the ball, okay, so creating the space. So you might not be receiving the ball yourself, but if you're pulling the defender out into space for then an attacker to drive through with the ball, or for another player to run into the space, to then for the midfielder or one of your players to play a ball through, then that's perfect, okay? If we're running straight all the time, it's easy for the defenders to to defend the situation, because if they know that one player's to the left and they're carrying on running straight and they've got a man running towards them running straight, then the only options they can really go is to there, unless a player cuts inside, meaning that the defender either has to go with that player or the player on the ball, which will then leave space for us to attack. And then finally, being clinical in that final third. Okay, so when we're in that final third, being decisive, not taking too many touches, make your first decision. Okay, if you're going to shoot, shoot. Don't hesitate. Once you hesitate, you tend not to score because the opportunity's gone. If the ball's come to you and it's rolling at a nice pace, hit it first time. Okay, don't be worrying about taking a touch. If you're not decisive, then you're not going to score. Okay, so you might be that you want to work the ball onto your stronger foot. Do it quickly, do it in one action, so that's where your body positioning and your first touch and everything is coming in. Okay, so making sure them basic things that we talk about all the time are in place, so then we can be clinical in the final third. Okay, moving on to the psychological corner this week. First thing we're going to look at is discipline. So when we're trying to win the ball back, we've got to be disciplined to do it. We don't want to be giving away fouls early as well. So we're giving away fouls in the defensive third, then we haven't got a chance to win it back there. Then the opposition could play a long ball and we've got to defend in our defensive third now. Okay, so we're trying to win the ball back high, but we've got to wait for the right moments. So when we speak about the pressing triggers, about obviously our back to goal, a mistake, a long pass or a bad first touch, can we wait for those moments? If we've transitioned and we're trying to win it back quickly in the first 5 seconds, that's fine. We all hurry as a team. But after that first 5 seconds, get into our shape and wait for the moments to win the ball. Reacting quickly is a massive part in terms of trying to win the ball back. So when the ball's transition, can we react quickly as a team to try and win it back in that first 5 seconds? If not, we get back into our shape. Okay, we've got to, as soon as that ball is transferred to where we think we can win it, we've already got to be on the move. Okay, we've got to be sensing the danger, we've got to be sensing the chances to win the ball back. Decision making, okay, so especially in that final third, once we've won the ball, where's that first pass going to be? Where's that first touch going to be? When we get into the final third, what's my options? Am I going to shoot, or I've got a player to square the ball back to set it back for somebody else to finish? But making sure that we're looking what's around us early. So awareness of the players around us, awareness of the space, awareness of where is the goalkeeper, what angle is he trying to show me on? I'm left footed, where do I want to bend the ball into? Am I going to reverse it into the front post? So we're thinking about these things all the time when we have and haven't got the ball. And then finally, confidence. Having confidence in that final third to win the ball back. Having confidence to go and press the opposition as well to win the ball back. Not being scared to think if it doesn't go well, they might turn and go forward. You've got to be able to take that risk sometimes to win the ball. Moving into the physical corner, massive one this week is speed. So speed on the ball, speed off the ball. So covering that ground quickly to get across to the opponent to win the ball. When we win it back, can we have pace both on and off the ball to drive forward quickly? So the player who's got the ball, get at the defenders, be powerful, and then players have got to support with their runs quickly so we can get in behind and look to finish. So our ABCs, turning quickly in tight areas, both on and off the ball. Okay, so with the opposition are switching the ball and we're trying to win it back, okay, we've got to be able to slide and shuffle across as a team, and be able to drop and be able to step as a team as well. And then when we win it, if we're getting the ball in tight areas, making sure our body position is able to turn out and play, and maybe even be able to turn as well. So you might fake to play a pass and then turn and go the opposite way. Okay, so we've got to be nice and light, always on our toes as well, not flat-footed. And then finally, intensity. Creating the intensity so that it's difficult for the opposition. Okay, so when the Blues and the Pastoral, what we've just done then, are getting the ball, we want them to know that, we're coming at them at a high intensity. Okay, we're going to be going right at them. We're going to make it difficult for them to have the ball. And if they play through us, then they've done really, really well. But we're going to make it intense. We're going to make it hard for them. Okay, and we've got to make sure that the players can do that on a constant basis. But we can't do it all the time, so we've just got to pick our right moments to do it. And then finally, moving on to our social corner, support. So supporting our teammates, okay, both vocally and also with our runs as well. Okay, so we're supporting the players when they're running after the ball, when they're pressing the ball. And then we're also supporting them by what our runs are going to be as well. How can I help that player who's pressing the ball? Where can I position myself so that the next player can't get the ball, as well as being able to intercept the ball? So stopping the man behind getting the ball, and then stopping the player who's got the ball, finding another pass maybe inside as well. Lots of encouragement, so encouraging the players on when they are going to press. Okay, so you might be a sitting midfielder in behind and you're seeing the play and you're blocking the passing lane, so encouraging your left centre midfielder, your right centre midfielder and your wingers up top and your centre forward to go and press. Okay, so they know that they're doing it for the team. So this is where communication comes in massive as well. So if the left midfielder goes and presses the right back, and the right midfielder comes off the line to go inside. You're telling them to block the pass inside, show them down the line, can we win the ball back? It might even go out for a throw-in, or we might be able to win it and then attack down the flanks. Okay, so making sure that we're communicating to the players in front of us so they can see so that they can block passes which are behind them as well, so that they're not just pressing one way and they think they're pressing the right way, but in fact, because of movement behind, they've now left gaps for someone to play into. Okay, so moving into the final part of this week's session, we've now got a 3-team counter-attacking game. So transitions are massive in football now, as we see with teams how quickly they can score as soon as we've won the ball back. So it's a massive chance to score. So when we win the ball back, our first thought now has got to be, can we go and play forward? Can we go and score? Can we punish the opposition? Because that's when they're out of shape, especially with teams now when they set up in possession-based formations where they've got the full-backs nice high and wide and the centre-backs are split. If we can win that ball in the final third or in the midfield third, we've got a massive chance to counter-attack quickly on transition to try and score. So we're trying to drill into the players now. When we win the ball, can we secure it, make runs forward to try and score? So in terms of the setup for this part of the session, we've got 60 yards of depth. Okay, so we've got 225 yards and a 10-yard zone here, which is the middle zone, which we call the safe zone. Okay, we've got 30 yards of width as well, all the way throughout. And we've got a setup is we've got our goalkeeper in one area here in a bigger goal, and then we've got 2 smaller goals in here defended by the 4 defenders. Okay, so we've got 2 smaller sided goals, so we're trying to attack into like wide areas here. We're trying to attack the goals centrally in this side. Okay, this is called the safe zone. This is where you can't get intercepted by the defenders. Okay, so what's going to happen is coach will play into the team in the middle. So we've got the Blues here. The Blues will attack either side they want to start with. So the Blues are going to attack here. This player's going to drive in. Can we get runs outside? Runs through in here. He's drove with the ball, played in, and we've scored. If they score a goal, straight back into the middle zone. Coach will have another ball ready. And we attack the other side. Okay, so now they're trying to attack the Greens. So they come into here. Greens have got good shape. We haven't got as much good movement as last time. And the Greens intercept the ball. Once they've intercepted here, the Greens have then got to get across the safe zone. So then they are the attacking team. Okay, so the Blues' first thought when they lose the ball shouldn't be, oh, we've lost the ball. Now we're the defending team. You've got a chance to win it back. Okay, so if the Greens get the ball here, swarm the ball, can we win it back? And then when we win it back on transition in here, boom, can we go and score? Okay, and for the Greens, it's when we win the ball, can we secure it? So we're getting to both sides of the transition, both attacking and defensive transition in here. Okay, so the Greens get the ball, they secure the ball in here, and then they instantly go and attack the other side. Okay, so now the Blues are in here as the defenders. The Greens go and attack at speed. They've got runners here, man closing down, they keep the ball. They have runner in here as well. And then we create a bit of space. Let's say goalkeeper saves it and it goes out. Okay, we don't do corners. They've lost the ball. The Reds are now attacking. Okay, so it is quite harsh. So that's where we're saying about being clinical in the final third. So the Greens in here. So we're getting lots of transitions. Each team's attacking. I'm looking for teams, so every goal that they score, whether it be in the small side goals or the big goal, is a point, is a goal. Okay, so whatever team has the most goals at the end will win. Just got to make sure that the coach, you have plenty of balls to use. Obviously, you've got your goalkeeper here as well, so the goalkeeper can throw the ball out when the other team is attacking down here. So we've got lots of quick transitions. Okay, we're attacking 2 different types of teams as well. 2 different ways to score. So we're working on lots of different ways to counter-attack, to transition when we win the ball, and when we've lost the ball as well, how can we react? So we've got to drill it into the players that when we react, we've got to react quickly. Okay, we want to get that ball back. We want to secure the ball and then go and counter-attack. We will now move into our final animation before concluding this week's session. Thanks for watching this week's video. For more content, follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. The links will be in the description below, and we'll see you next week for another Session Sunday.